the Foul-Mouthed Aussie, and you're listening to that wrestling podcast, and it fucking sucks!
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. It's Monday, it's money, it's Clyde, and we're going to talk a little wrestling, baby. You ready, brother?
What's up, baby? Ready to get it in, get it on, get it going, baby.
Get it cracking. How you doing today, brother?
Pretty good, man. Contemplating life's great mysteries, but other than that, doing pretty good.
How was your weekend, man? What did you do? I heard you, did you actually throw a couch off the bridge?
Yeah, we threw a couple couches off the bridge. It's something I like to do to relieve a little stress, man. Sometimes there's nothing like throwing a couch off the bridge.
I thought you were celebrating the Raptors win, brother. I didn't know, but either way, yeah, I thought I seen some stuff on social media. You and a couch on fire on a bridge. I don't know what's going on, brother.
Yeah. What a game, man. What an ending to that Raptors game.
Yeah, man, so we got a lot of wrestling news to hop into today, though. This, unfortunately, is not an NBA show. We're going to talk about some wrestling here, brother. We're going to talk about Ali's unique path to the WWE. Jake Hager evidently won his second MMA fight over the weekend in controversial fashion. We're going to touch on that. WWE Network is going to have some compatibility issues coming up with a lot of devices. We're going to touch on that. Jim Ross gave his thoughts on whether or not Vince McMahon is intimidated by AEW and the Khan's billions of dollars. We're going to touch on that. Play a little bit of random wrestling knowledge with Clyde. A little bit of news on Sheamus, and Chris Cyborg is back in the news, teasing an AEW appearance, brother. You ready to hop into all this today?
Yes, sir. Let's get it in there.
But before we do, why don't you be so kind as to tell the people of the audience what's going to happen if this show, this channel, this podcast, baby, is lucky enough to hit 1K subscribers?
We get Dave in a fleet, fresh Elvis suit and his worm out. No headshots, please. No shots to the brain,
brother. Yeah, and
shots to the brain.
And speaking of shots, man, this guy Ali is evidently, man, he's worked hard to get his shot, man. Did you know about his roots, like kind of what he's went through to kind of make the roster in WWE?
I've seen something about it. I think he used to be a police officer, I believe, in Chicago, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, man, I thought it was pretty cool. And evidently, though, what I found to be so cool about it was the fact that he worked all the way up until he was, like, officially in the WWE. Like, here's what he said. It wasn't until the official offer came from WWE that I resigned. I was working as a cop the entire time. I was doing the Cruiserweight Classic and the NXT stuff. And on the side, I was doing independent wrestling shows. I worked all the way up to when my contract started and left nothing to chance. Somehow I held on to the dream, and in the end, I'd say it worked out. Man, what a story, man. I'm already a big fan of Ali, but even a bigger fan now, just seeing his dedication and the work that the man truly put in, you know?
Yeah, I enjoy him too, man. I'm also a fan. I see some big things in his future, hopefully, if they, keep booking him properly.
Proper booking. Yeah. I think that Ali he fits right in with the Daniel Bryans and the AJ Styles. He does some stuff that just kind of leaves you amazed. You know what I mean, brother?
Yeah. The dude's a 5-star athlete, man. I'd like to see a little bit more of his promo work. We haven't seen too much of that right now.
That's true. Haven't seen much of his mic work, man. But if it's anything like his ring work, it's gonna be spectacular, brother.
Yeah, I'd like to see him and Kofi have a couple matches. I bet those would be great matches.
Well said. That's what I just like about Ali. I think he just blends in so well with some of these smaller, explosive guys that they have on the roster, man. And, why not throw him in the title pictures with the rest of them, brother?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so did you see over the weekend that Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger of WWE, won his second MMA bout?
Yeah, I did. I seen that. Congratulations. I still want to call him Jack Swagger, brother.
Well, did you have a chance to check out any of the match? And if so, did you see the controversial finish?
Yeah, I didn't really see so much of the controversy there. I was hoping, after he got him down, he was going to, do the "We Are the People" salute, the whole deal. Maybe Cesaro would come out and swing the guy through the cage or something.
Yeah, I noticed. Like, did you notice he kind of held the submission just a little long? Here we go. I got a quote here real quick, and this is from Mandatory.com. It was a quick win for Hager, who submitted his opponent with an arm triangle after a little over 3 minutes of action. However, he kept the hold a few seconds after the tap, which was taken as a very bad sign of sportsmanship. It actually drew a bunch of boos from the crowd. And if you've seen the video, you said you did too. You can kind of see his opponent giving him a quick tap, like on his own shoulder, like where Hager could kind of see it. And then Hager really didn't break the hold until a few seconds later when the referee actually stepped in and told him to break the hold. And do you think that he held that hold a little too long, or do you think that people are kind of just overreacting here?
I think they're over-exaggerating. Like I said, man, I'd like for Cesaro running on that, brother. It would have made it better.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was hard to tell. It all happened so quick, dude. And here's what I would say. Like, I would just hope that he did clearly hold it a few seconds too long. I would just hope that he just didn't see the man tapping on his shoulder, and that once the ref jumped in, he pretty much immediately broke the hold. So hopefully that's all it was, because I like Jake Hager, and I would hate to see anything like this kind of tarnish his image, and hopefully he's just not that kind of guy, is what I guess I'm getting at.
Yeah, them MMA fans, they got to remember it's not real, man. It's a work.
That's right, man. They're just working an angle. They're building for something bigger.
The story, man. He's supposed to be a heel.
That's right, brother. And speaking of building a story, man, Hulk Hogan is constantly building his story on Twitter, man. Did you see what he had to say over the weekend?
I heard a little controversy about him saying he's a 13-time champion, brother.
Yeah, so I guess evidently, like, according to the official WWE record books, and I guess that's all that really matters, brother, they have him down as a 12-time champion, right?
Yeah, he is a dozen eggs, bro.
Yeah, but Hogan took to Twitter this weekend to point out the fact that he's actually a 13-time champion. Here's his little quote from Twitter. People always say I was a 12-time champion, but why does everyone forget that I was the first IWGP heavyweight champ, brother? Make it a 13-time champ, brother, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, and he has a picture of himself with that title, you know what I mean, back in the day. And, would you count that title run? Where do you put Hogan, 12 or 13, brother?
I'll go ahead. I'll give him the 13. That IWGP that's the legit deal there, man. And there's some good matches where the Hulkster showed some really good ring work on those matches there.
Yeah, I went back actually over the weekend. I was watching some of Hogan's old NJPW stuff. Hadn't seen it in years, man. And like you said, really, there's a different side of Hogan. More ring work, more. Just showed more skill in the ring overall, and I believe, did he beat Inoki to win that title initially when he won it?
Yeah, I think you're correct, man. And I was really impressed, man. I was like, oh, look at the Hulkster putting them holds. It was real impressive, bro.
Yeah, Hogan out there getting it done when he was younger. If you guys haven't ever seen any of his work from Japan, check it out, man. It's really a different side of Hulk Hogan that you hadn't seen, and I believe he even plays the heel sometimes over there. Ain't that right, brother?
Yeah, he could definitely be a monster heel anywhere. The Hulkster. Yeah,
man. So Hulk Hogan, always in the news, brother, always has something fresh to say, and he's almost like a walking mouthpiece, brother. It's so much fun, and if you don't, please follow the Hulkster on Twitter out there and check out what he has to say. His thoughts are always entertaining, kind of give you something to think about every day, brother.
That's right. Hulkamania is still running wild, or is it running mild? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. It might be running mild at this point. It really might be running mild at this point, but it's still running. That's the crazy part about it, brother.
Yeah, we need some Hulk Hogan retros. Got to get that in there.
Yeah, we definitely do, man. And speaking of what we need to do, we got to hop out real quick, take a commercial break, but we'll be right back with segment number 2. Got a lot of fun stuff to hop into today. We're going to hop into this WWE Network compatibility issue is going to be coming up soon. We're going to touch on that and how you can get around it. Jim Ross had some cool thoughts on Vince McMahon and AEW and kind of the war that's going on, the unspoken war that's going on. Going to play a little bit of random wrestling knowledge. Got a little bit of Sheamus news. Going to hop into all that when we come back, brother. You ready to do this? So we'll be right back after this. Following is a paid advertisement for Dick Drizzle for Congress 2020. As a local business owner for over 20 years, Dick Drizzle has helped to provide jobs and stabilize our economy. As a city councilman, his Clean Streets initiative have our streets cleaner than ever, and we now have our very own 5K marathon. His humble beginnings and modest lifestyle keeps him connected to the people that matter most. Dick Drizzle, his policies work for you. Vote Dick Drizzle for Congress 2020. Hello, I'm Richard, but you can call me Dick. And I'm going to talk about something today that
not a lot of men really like to talk about. But sometimes after a long day in the saddle, I get a little itching in my nether region. And that's why I got with my friend Peter here and created a wonderful product. You tell him about it, Peter.
Well, my name's Peter, and I'll tell you, you got an itch and you giddy up. There ain't nothing better for that itch than Texas ball cream.
That's right, it's Texas Ball Cream. You can pick us up at all your local retailers. Just ask the pharmacist for Texas Ball Cream.
Welcome back! Segment number 2. Man, we're starting to branch out with our ads a little bit there, brother. I guess we're kind of venturing into the political realm. What do you think about Dick Drizzle? Is he going to have your vote?
Well, he won't have mine, but, middle America, they'll probably vote for him. I could see this guy winning the entire election, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dick Drizzle, man, branching out. This guy must have I bet you his campaign fund is running deep, brother, because, he's reaching out. He's got ads everywhere right now. I don't know if you've seen the local news or the national news, the wrestling podcast. Dick Drizzle's everywhere, baby.
Yeah, he's very unrelatable. That's probably why he'll win.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, he does have he does have a modest lifestyle, so you gotta give him that, brother.
Yeah, poor guy.
Poor guy. And I want to touch on this with you real quick, brother, before we hop into my favorite segment of the day, though. But did you see the news, and I guess it broke Friday, that the WWE Network is not going to be, it's going to cease to be compatible with a number of devices after, I believe it's May 25th?
Yeah, I seen that, man, and I'm on my PlayStation 3, so I'm a little concerned about that news already.
Sorry, it's on May 21st. Y'all, you're watching it on PS3. Well, man, you're going to have to upgrade your device. And here's what I wonder, and I know you're not the most technical guy in the world, neither am I, but here's what I wonder, and if someone out there is listening that's more technical than us, please let us know. I think that on the developers end, say these devices, here's the list of devices: Amazon Fire tablets, Apple TV 3rd generation earlier models, LG 2016 and earlier models, PlayStation 3, Samsung 2016 and earlier models, Samsung and Sony Blu-ray players, Sony non-Android TVs, Windows 10 desktop, and Xbox 360. All those devices are going to be cease compatibility after May 21st. And I wonder if the developers on their end, let's say Microsoft, develops a patch for the Xbox 360, then could they still run the network? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope they figure out something, man. That's a lot of people that are not going to be able to enjoy the WWE network.
Yeah, we was spreading this around our Facebook groups, over the weekend, and the response was just massive, man. This was the biggest article we've written on our site on thatwrestlingpodcast.com. It got the most feedback, the most hits, and really, I think that there's a lot of concerned fans out there. I don't know, the WWE has to see these numbers, but I don't know if they really realize how many people what percentage of their audience is consuming their product through these devices. I wonder what percentage of their fans they're just gonna cut out automatically.
Well, I'm definitely on the PlayStation 3, but I got a PlayStation 4. It's out on loan. I got to get it back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get that back, brother. You're such a nice fella. Loan out your PS4. I know you don't game a lot. I know you was probably just thinking, well, I can still watch my network on the PS3, so he's nice enough to loan that out to somebody. But you're gonna have to go retrieve it, brother. I think because after the 21st, it looks like that app is gonna be gone.
Yeah, I gotta have my WWE, man. Gotta have it, brother.
And so this is kind of on the heels too of WWE announcing, they've been teasing this for a while too. I don't know if you've heard that they're gonna have a different tier of they're gonna have a tier pricing for the network. Have you seen that?
No. What is that, brother?
Yeah, I believe there's going to be of course you got the $9.99 option right now, but there's going to be a $12.99 and then maybe a $14.99, or maybe just the $9.99 and the $14.99 a month. And if you get the higher tier, you'll be eligible for special shows and special events that the people in the lower tiers just don't get. You know what I mean? They're going to add more programming and add more content, I'm assuming.
Well, that sounds intriguing. I would like to be on that higher tier, man. Like I said, I love my wrestling, brother.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of interesting, I guess, over the next few weeks to see how all this unfolds. But big changes are coming down the pipe for the WWE Network, and really, I would just like to see things be a little bit. I know this sounds crazy. Do you ever have trouble searching and finding something on there when you punch it in the search box? I wish they would just have it a little more organized. I guess it kind of feels clustered and cluttered on there. It doesn't really feel like everything's structured properly.
Yeah, I do have a lot of problems with that. It freezes up quite a lot too. They definitely got some bugs they need to work out with the whole deal.
I've noticed if you're watching like a live pay-per-view, it will from time to time like freeze up, and I just wonder if that's bandwidth issues, like because that's I guess when they're at maximum capacity is like for example a few months ago during the Elimination Chamber when Kofi and Daniel was going at it froze up. At WrestleMania when Kofi and Daniel was going at it kind of froze and glitched a few times. And if you're out there listening, let us know when you watch these events live. Do you have those same issues that Clyde and I have? Because we seem to have those independently of one another, and I'm just wondering how widespread this issue is.
Yeah. I think every person I know actually that has WWE Network has similar complaints to what we have here, brother.
Yeah, brother. And speaking of complaining, I hope you're not going to be complaining when we hop into this next segment, brother. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde. All right, audience, feel free to play along at home. Every day we ask Clyde 3 random wrestling-related questions, and they're literally coming from out of nowhere. So, brother, you ready to hop into it?
Yes, final answer, Carlito.
That's right. All right, man. Yeah, I think, last show, dude, I believe on my birthday last Thursday, you was 0 for 3, man. We can't have that today, okay, dude?
I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
All right, here we go. This is kind of an open-ended question, so there's a couple of answers that's acceptable. Question 1. Andre the Giant had lost at least 2 matches prior to Mania, and they was billing him with like a 15-year undefeated streak leading up to Mania 3 with Hogan, but he actually had lost at least 2 matches leading up to that. Can you name one of the opponents? Can you name either one of the opponents that he had lost to leading up to WrestleMania 3 with Hogan?
I'm going to say he lost to Jerry the King Lawler. That's the final answer there, sir.
He did lose to Jerry the King Lawler on one time, so you know what I'm going to do there, brother? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to the producer. Give me just a moment here. Yeah, we're going to go with that, brother. I believe, actually, that match ended in a count out, so I was actually looking for a couple of different answers. So that's such an open-ended question, but I'll take that, brother. But,
I wonder who the booker was on that.
Yeah, the controversy about that Jerry the King Lawler match, though, was that after Lawler had won that match, he sent like some tidbits and little clips and snippets from that article over to like a wrestling I guess a newsletter type deal at that time or a magazine, and they published an article actually saying that Lawler had pinned Andre.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Jerry's lucky Andre didn't get a hold of him after a couple bottles of wine, bro.
That got Jerry in a bunch of hot water with WWE, actually, because they was billing Andre as this, unpinnable monster, and then they had a wrestling article out there floating around the magazine saying he was pinned, so they kind of had to, not necessarily retract the article, but they issued another cover later, and you can look into all that, with Andre on the cover saying, like, the undefeated monster or something, kind of like trying to correct their wrong, I guess,
By God, Jerry Negron.
Yeah, so we'll give you that one, brother, and that's pretty cool. That's a little historical fact there on that question number 1. Let's hop into question 2, right? Here we go, brother. How did the gorilla position get its name?
Oh, that's a good one. That's the easy one. Gorilla Monsoon. Rest in peace.
Yeah, let's see what Mr. Producer Man says. Mr. Producer, show me Gorilla Monsoon. Yeah, well done, brother. 2 for 2 today. 2 for 2 today. And yeah, Gorilla Monsoon actually established that position and kind of made it, what it is today. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool little tidbit. Perfect.
Love it.
Perfect name for it too, the Gorilla position. It just sounds like it should be named that anyway.
Couldn't have been named after a more classier and well-deserved gentleman.
All right, here we go. Question 3. While watching this wrestler, Lita wanted to become a professional wrestler herself, and this wrestler inspired her to do that.
Ooh, boy, that's a tough one. Let's see. I'm gonna say Macho Man Randy Savage. Final answer.
Mr. Producer Man, show me Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh,
Should have been.
No. No, it was actually, I guess, she was a little, I guess, a little older, though, when she was watching, dude, because it was actually watching Rey Mysterio on Monday Nitro was actually what made her want to be a professional wrestler, and I believe it wasn't too much longer after that. She was down in Mexico training herself, brother.
Okay, I take my should have been back then, because Ray is one of the greatest of all time. I truly believe that.
You truly believe it, brother. Yeah, so it was actually Rey Mysterio. So 2 for 3 today, man. How does it feel, brother?
Feels a little better than the other day.
The last day, not so good, right?
Yeah, it feels a little bit better.
That's right, brother. Yeah, so we're going to hop out, pay some bills real quick, but we're going to be right back to talk about this. I'm going to close the show up with this with you, brother. We got a little bit of Sheamus news to touch on, but also Jim Ross was talking about over the weekend on a radio show whether or not he thought Vince was intimidated or, was going to back down at all from AEW, and I'm going to open up on that, and I want to hear your thoughts on that, brother. So you ready to take this break and hop into that?
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll be right back after this. The following is a paid advertisement for Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. That Wrestling Podcast is not responsible for any products in this ad.
Do you suffer from ACE, also known as atypical constant ejaculation? Well, you are not alone. And now, thanks to the Scrotal Treatment Center of America's patented new Semenese technology, you can get your problem taken care of. It's a series of 3 invasive laser-guided injections that'll have you up and running in no time. That's the Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. Not only am I a spokesman, but I'm a client.
Welcome back! Segment number 3. Here to wrap it up with Clyde. Brother, you ready to wrap this show up today?
Let's wrap it up like it's Christmas, baby.
Had some crazy advertisers on here, man. This is what you just don't hear on your mainstream wrestling news show. You know what I mean, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of budget we got, but I mean, it's getting out of control.
It's definitely over budget battle royal, just like AEW style, brother.
There you go.
And speaking of over budget and AEW and all this stuff, man, here's what I've been waiting to hop in with you all day, man, because, regardless of what people think out there, there's a war going on, brother. There's a wrestling war going on. The Monday Night Wars have been rekindled, and Jim Ross just recently threw another ember into the fire. No, I'm just joking. He actually didn't do that, but it sounded pretty good. Now, he was actually on Busted Open Radio over the weekend. He discussed whether or not he believed Vince McMahon was all intimidated about going head-to-head with someone that has more money than him. And, what do you think Ross had to say about that?
Yeah, I'm going to say no to Jim Ross. He's probably going to say Vince is not worried, because I don't want to see Vince as the kind of guy that gets worried about too much.
All right, well, let's see here. Here it is right here, brother. He said, I don't know if he's concerned about going head-to-head with anybody. I doubt it. I think he's bulletproof in that regard, stated Ross. I have said this internally with AEW. The worst mistake that we can make is trying to chase WWE. We don't need to chase WWE. What do you think about that, brother?
Yeah, I like it, man. They should do their own thing. Worried about what's going on in their own backyard, and but in reality, like you said, man, this is a wrestling war, whether they all want to admit it or not.
Yeah, it's definitely going down, man. And like here's some little one last quote I'm going to read you here from Ross. It's kind of a lengthy one, so excuse me here, but it does kind of touch right on what you was talking about the war, about the battle, brother. Here we go. I'm sure there's concern financially about rosters. I'm not officially in that department, but I asked one guy in WWE who is an undercard guy, a solid hand who can help younger guys earn early 30s, and they said to me that he's not available. He just signed for $500,000. He's not even on television. $500,000 just to keep him off the streets, so to speak. So yeah, there's a reactionary phase that is going around. AEW is willing to pay people. So they think AEW is willing to pay people, I guess, and Vince is kind of just paying people not to go to AEW at this point, basically. And what do you think about that quote?
I like it, man. Maybe Vince can throw us a little bit of money before we go to AEW.
That's right, mate. Taking our podcast to AEW. Well, we do have a lot of AEW content on here, brother. So yeah, maybe he'll catch wind of that.
Yeah, come on, Vince. Throw us a bone, brother.
Vince has not set Gorilla on our show since the second week of the show. I don't know where he's been. Just kind of missing in action, brother.
Now that you're saying that, I am a little concerned. He could be with Mr. Drizzle. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, very busy getting that campaign rolling, brother. So yeah, man, it's crazy though to think that he didn't want to say this guy's name, but basically he's saying Vince paid this guy $500,000, gave him a new contract, $500,000 a year, and this guy's an undercard wrestler, not even on television, and evidently this is way more money than he's made in the past, and you know what I mean, just to kind of keep him away from AEW. I mean, wow, right?
Yeah, because a company like AEW could take a Fandango or a Tyler Breeze, for example, and really make them into bigger stars, because guys like that they already are stars. They're just not being utilized properly in the WWE environment right now.
And I think that kind of gets back to what you were saying a minute ago. You said, you think AEW should focus on just what they're doing, what's going on in their own backyard. And I think so, too. And like you said, like say they got a hold of a guy like Tyler Breeze or Fandango, I don't think they would be booked as, as silly-ish. Not to say that AEW's not going to have some fun, have some gimmicky stuff on there, but I think that, the booking and everything's going to come off so much more edgy and real and fresh, I think, on AEW. And I think kind of that's what Jim Ross is even getting at by let's not chase the WWE. I think by doing our own thing, we can, compete in our own way. You know what I mean, brother?
Yeah, I think Jim is right, man, and he's a wise gentleman. He's been around a long time. I would definitely listen to him.
Listen to him, brother.
Yeah, and speaking of listening to him, brother, we might be about done hearing from Sheamus on WWE television. Have you seen the rumor that's circulating that he might be actually done in the ring?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did, man, and it's really a sad deal. We was lucky enough to meet him, last week. One of my all-time favorites, man. I hope it's not true, but I kind of feel like it is.
I kind of feel like his time's coming to a close too, man. I've been reading the rumors for the last year and a half or so about his neck is just getting worse and worse, and and I hope they're not true, and I hope this rumor doesn't get confirmed about him retiring. But I could just see how it's possible, brother. And if his time in the ring has come to an end, what a career it's been, and one of my favorite superstars, one of your favorite superstars. Lucky enough to have met the gentleman, and what a just nice human being. Was so nice to us and to my son, and hopefully whatever Sheamus decides to do after wrestling, he'll be successful in, and I don't see there's no way you can't be, brother.
Yeah, for just a first class human being, man. And sometimes I like to judge people on how they treat kids, and the way he handled your son and all the other children. They're just a class act guy, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like that, all the kids that was in line, he was taking pictures with them to put on his own personal Instagram, and just really went the extra mile. That not to say that most of the wrestlers you meet aren't nice people, but Sheamus was exceptional. Really, just took an extra few minutes to make the experience something memorable.
Yeah, won every title. Won the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank. I think the only title he didn't win was the Intercontinental. But my action figure of Sheamus has it, so I got it covered. I got you covered, Sheamus.
Yeah, brother. So speaking of having it covered, though, did you see that former UFC champion Chris Cyborg recently responded to Cody Rhodes on Twitter after the American Nightmare thanked fans for helping the Nightmare Family YouTube channel's latest video hit close to 1 million views?
No, I didn't see that, brother.
Yeah, Chris Cyborg was just kind of goofing off there. She said with the here's her response. I want to read you. And okay. She said, I can't wait for Vegas was her response to Cody's tweet. So, like, is she teasing, like, a double or nothing appearance? And if so, Chris Cyborg is a very believable female superstar, dude. I don't know if you've ever seen her MMA fights or bouts at all, dude. But, man, this woman is an absolute beast, dude. I mean, definitely would rival Ronda Rousey's, like, stature. And, she just has that kind of same aura and appeal about her, brother. And what do you think about, like, the possibility of AEW, like, bringing on like a huge female MMA star like this?
Be a genius business move. Get some eyes on a product that might not have been there somewhere to what WWE did with Ronda and Brock and even Ken Shamrock way back in the day. But makes business sense, man. If she wants to get in there and do some professional wrestling, I'm all for it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, brother, I'd love to see it too, and just like anything to get more eyes on the product, dude. And I really think AEW is going to have something new and fresh, and something kind of unseen and not necessarily WCW like, but I feel like it's going to just bring that aura of freshness back that we had back in the mid to late '90s, brother. Yeah,
I'm really hoping we're going to hear CM Punk's name brought up very, very soon. Maybe that first episode will end with CM Punk. That would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all, brother. Really, it wouldn't, dude. And yeah, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness! Like just to close the show, CM Punk just kind of walks out or something as it's going off the air here.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a shot fired. That would be an atomic bomb dropped.
Yeah, definitely would, brother. Definitely would, brother. And speaking of dropping bombs, brother, we need to hop on that. We've dropped a lot of them today, brother. We have, and I appreciate you taking a few moments to join us. But I think it's kind of getting to be that point in the day where we wrap the show up, my man. You want to go ahead and put a bow on it?
Yeah, for everybody out there that listen, we appreciate you. Thanks. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. That'd be even better. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a wrestler, tell anybody. And if you didn't like us, hit us with the King Kong Bundy splash. For the 5 count, we'll be sharing this on our Facebook affiliate pages, as we always do. That's the Bliss Army, the Becky Lynch Mob, Hitman Hart Fan Club, Kofi Kingston Club, I Heart Pro Wrestling, Carlito's Caribbean Cool Fan Club, Wrestling is Our Passion, Wrestling Unleashed, All Out, All Access Indie Wrestling, LJ and Maniacs, All Elite Wrestling, Let's Get Rowdy With It, Wicked Thoughts, Music for Thoughts, and WWE Retro Figure Fan Club.
Well said, brother. I appreciate you having the list ready every single day, because I know you don't do a damn bit of preparation for the show, but you have the list. For you having that, you just made my list, brother, so thank you. I appreciate that. People out there, check us out on the web at thatwrestlingpodcast.com. Always updated with the freshest, craziest wrestling content on the web, brother. And if you like us, put us over. Give us a thumbs up. If you don't, let us know. We'll do a job for you on your show. That's the way we roll right here on That Wrestling Podcast. And having said that, we will catch you guys on the next one.
Woo! That's right, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Dig it!
And you can't teach that.
Carlito, Caribbean, cool. Let him in the ring, you lose him in the ring.
This summer, one family.
Dad, this place is kind of creepy.
Son, get some rest. There's nothing to be afraid of. Is about to see that things ain't always what they seem.
The legend is true. Can't believe it.
For thousands of years, they've been dormant, and now they must eat. Darnell Jackson and Haley Joe Osment star in this summer's blockbuster hit that you won't want to miss. Okay, my keys. Where's my keys?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh God!
Clowns in a House.